Okay, it's March 19th. Got this axle down here. Carter is pulling the drag link off because we got a replacement for that. And we've got some muscle here that's going to manhandle this thing and get it up underneath there. Hi, Carter. All right, there's Carter. He's getting it done. Carter bench pressed that axle in there all by himself. Can you believe that? He doesn't look like he's that strong. He's a tough dude, man. I'm telling you what. Alpi helped.
What's that, like 30, 50?
Alpi guided him in.
Emotional support.
Emotional support, right? Now, word of advice, yeah, good deal. Don't tighten that one down until you've got the other one in there. Otherwise, you won't be able to move it around, right?
Oh no, I'm just gonna tighten it.
Man, you're doing a lot of hard work. I need to get myself something to drink.
Metal piece in between the rubber on it. I can't get it down.
Okay, Carter's got the leaf spring U-bolts connected, so he's got the axle bolted down in place. He's now doing the shocks. You got the passenger side shock done, right?
Yeah. I'm using like the smallest hammer we have.
Carter got the axle bolted in with the U-bolts. Like I said, shackles are attached, the shocks are in, and we've got some company, so we're going to stop for the day. And catch you guys next time. Okay, March 20th, I'm out here again. Going to finish up this assembly. Yesterday, we got the axle mounted back into the Jeep. I had some help to do the lifting there, and we got that thing back up in there for the most part. Today, what I'm going to do is finish that assembly, which would be connecting the drive shaft. I've got to put the steering linkage and the drag link in, and put my hubs slash rotors back on. But what I'm getting ready to do right here, after having cleaned the bearings, is I'm going to repack these. I'm using a method that was shown to me back when I was a junior in high school, and that is simply to take the grease, put it in the palm of your hand, like so. I need more than that though. I'll start there. And you just, where the bearing is open and the groove there, you just push the bearing against the grease, against your palm, all the way around. Okay, this is the driver's side. I already did the passenger side. It was just hard to get the camera in there, but so what I've done, I've cleaned and greased the spindle here thoroughly. And I've got the bearings packed and the seal that goes in the back of the, I don't know if you can see that, there's a seal that goes in the back of that. I'm going to slip this on first. Be right back. Okay, phooey on me. I put the wrong bearing inside the back side of this hub, and even though I marked the driver bearings and the passenger bearings, I didn't mark if it was the inner or the outer bearing. And so the inner bearing is actually larger in diameter, and the inner race of it, that is. And that's why it wasn't fitting over the spindle. So shouldn't be a problem now. Gonna make sure I got all the grease wiped off of the rotor. You don't want any of that on your brake pads. I got some brake clean here. You just got to get down and dirty in this stuff. It's the name of the game. All right, here we go. Oh yeah, that's Mo better. I re-greased that outer bearing here, so it's ready to go. So that goes on next. Don't be shy with the grease either. This is your wheels will love you for it. So I just didn't want that old grease left in there. It was just an excess amount of it, but there should be plenty in there now. So I'm trying to get ahead, or I'm getting ahead of myself. So the first tab washer is smaller than the second. It goes on first. Hence the first tab washer, right? I got that one crooked. There's a groove in the spindle that it fits through. Okay, that's in. And the next thing to go on is the first nut, which is a bearing preload nut. And they're both the same. And this is going to get torqued to 50 foot-pounds. And then at this point, very critical, you've got to back that off 1/6 of a turn. So I can see the facets of my socket here. So I'm going to put this one over here where that one is. So I'm going to back it off. Right there. That's bearing preload. Okay. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. Bring you in close here. That tab washer right here is bent over, so that's not going to allow that nut to back off. This one that's a jam nut. So that's done, and I'll get to the next step. Okay, the next step is to take a C-clamp, if needed. In my case, it's needed because I'm putting new pads on. And what you have to do is you have to collapse this piston on this brake caliper. Got some bug dew in there. So I'm simply gonna put my threaded portion inside the piston here of this. Just set it up here. Okay, these brake pads are made with this groove on either end, and the way this is designed, you slide that over this portion right here at the top and the bottom. So that one's in place. And now that one's in place. So with the piston now collapsed, I should be able to slip it right over top of that.
Yeah, it's really not that hard. What was wrong is I had the two bolts that hold it on. The bottom bolt was partially already in, and so it was obstructing the ability for this bottom half of the caliper to lay down where it's supposed to. So we're in there now. We'll know when we start threading this in.
Okay. So it was in further than I thought it was. Just couldn't see it. So that's it there. Now, got to get the hubs installed. So that'd be the next thing. There we go. Okay, I been working on that hub for about 30 minutes or more, trying to figure out how it's supposed to go on. I did know right off the bat you have to take the cap off. So you got these Allen, I think it's 1/8 inch Allen screws. Pull those off, and then you mount this portion to the hub with the 5 hex bolts. And then when you put this back on, it's got to be in the correct orientation. There's a spring in there, and I'll show you when we get to the other side, but there's a spring in there. It's got to be in the right orientation for it to work. So right now it's in the free mode, and so you just turn it like a quarter of a turn, and it's locked. So has nice feel to it. Nice detents there. So definite improvement over the factory one to me. All right, on to the other one. Okay, so the first thing you got to do is take this cover off right here. And it's this spring right here that has to be oriented correctly in order for it to work properly. So I'm gonna make a mental note of where they had it positioned. Okay, I think I've got it. All right, be right back. Okay, here we are. There's a gasket that has to go on. So I'm gonna place that behind there, like so. It's a little bit. There's a little boss right here on the back side of this that thing's supposed to rest on, but I found that the gasket's a little bit too small in diameter to fit around it. So I don't know how important it is, but I'm gonna try to use it. So.
Yeah, it's not letting it on there for some reason. There we go. Gotta hold your mouth right. I think it would have been nice if they were given new hex bolts, but I guess that's how they keep costs down. So.
And I don't know what those get torqued to, and I couldn't find anything in the manual, the original service manual, amazingly enough. But I'm going to say torque till tight. So here's the torque till tight method. I kind of need a pry bar, but be right back. Torque till tight method. And there's grooves in here that it goes inside of, but you can get it out of the right place where it's supposed to be. It's possible to mess it up. And sure enough, I did. It took me a half hour to figure out the other one. It was really just luck, I think. So I don't know if I'm gonna get this one right or not. I guess we'll see. Let me go. I'm gonna take a chance on that one right there.
Also, the locker itself is supposed to be set in the free mode. You want it to be set in free mode. This gasket's a little bit of a pain. There's a gasket on the side as well. Let's try that right there.
See if I was right. Hey. All right. Got it first time. Cool. So, locked. Unlocked. Whew. All right. All right, today is March 21st, and I've been at it for a little while. I just, it's kind of hard to video this, but anyhow, what I'm doing is I'm installing the tie rod end, or the steering link, I guess you would call it, and a new steering stabilizer. So what I did first, though, is I measured the old steering arm, so I knew I would be close to being aligned, even though I'm going to have to take it in for an alignment now. But what I wanted to show is the size of this steering link compared to the factory one, because it's way heftier. And then this is a Rough Country premium steering stabilizer that I just mounted. Got that all. You had to loosely attach it to the axle with that bracket, if you can see that. Loosely attach it, and then attach one at the barrel end of the thing to that coupling there, and then loosely attach this bracket, extend the piston 3 1/4 inches, and then wherever that lands this thing, you're supposed to mount with that orientation and get the damper so it's in its optimum position so as to preclude any interference anywhere, and I think I've got that. So fairly easy install on that, wasn't a big deal. They did say there was instructions for the stack up of those bushings, but there weren't any instructions in there, but it's kind of self-explanatory how that's supposed to go in. They didn't have any torque specs or anything like that. So once again, it's torque till tight, just like I did the, I forgot what it was, I guess the hubs yesterday. So now, that seems about right where it's sitting. So this is the pitman arm, or the drag link. So just to show you, this old one was actually bent, and when I had the Jeep aligned recently, they bent it back as best as they could, but you can see how cruddy this is. Very much needing a replacement. So you see the diameter of that, and now look at this. Huge difference. So yeah, this is, and this is Rugged Ridge, by the way. They recommend that if you're running 31, other than factory tires, anything taller than that you should run heavier steering linkage. So this is kind of killing two birds with one stone. It needed to be done because these joints are wore out, and I am running 31s at the moment, eventually to go to 33s. So I'm gonna get this installed. I've got measurements on it. I'm gonna unscrew the ends such that it has the same length as the old one, and I'll get that installed and we'll be back. All right, that's it. Got the drive shaft hooked up back there. Got gear oil in the differential. Everything's buttoned up. 80 foot-pounds of torque on the lug nuts. The only thing left to do is grease. I've got to grease the tie rod and the drag link. Those are bone dry. Outside of that, that's it. That concludes another project, Project Dana 30. So stay tuned for upcoming upgrades, maybe even this month. There's some additional things that I'm still gonna do. And so thanks again for watching. And I guess I'll leave on this. My 1985 CJ7 wide track. So the AMC 20, just to recap, the AMC 20 has been rebuilt, 410 gears. It's got an Auburn Grip-N-Loc limited slip differential. The front has been rebuilt as well, and it's got also 410 gears, obviously. A Spartan Helical design limited slip differential. Got the new mile marker hubs, lockout hubs on there. Locking hubs, lockout hubs, whatever you call them. Let's see what else. New brakes. Of course, all the seals and everything been replaced. So the differential drivetrain work is done. I do have some future things that I'm gonna do to the engine, but not now because it's not absolutely necessary. It runs good. There is one thing I'm gonna do here in the near future. I won't reveal that yet, but probably this month, and I'll get into that when it's time to do that. So on this, I'll close, and you guys take care. Thanks again for watching, and feel free to leave comments or questions or anything you like, and give me a thumbs up. Thanks again. Later.